Huh. Irony.
Hit me!
Ladies and gentlemen, get into it. It's time.
Get into it, get on up.
Welcome to the theater. For everyone's enjoyment, we'd like to remind you of the following rules. No talking. No smoking. No littering. No red meat. No freedom of religion. And remember, all marriages must be approved by the Department of Health. Failure to obey these rules will result in immediate loss of citizenship.
Perseverance over hardship. How do a group of people with no useful skills, no record of achievement or personal hygiene, a group capable of smashing windows and setting fires but nothing else, how do a group like that create an entirely new nation?
How long do you think Seattle in those few blocks looks like this?
I don't know. We could have the summer of love.
Hear that, Chaz deniers? Chaz has guns. King Raz merely has to say the word and his country's crack special forces teams will emerge like ninjas from the shadows.
So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany on January 30th, 1933. For those who fit the narrow definition of a German citizen, the Nazis offered a sense of community and national pride.
Protest zone, part commune, part street festival.
You know, the president calls them anarchists, and somebody could call it anarchy, but it's more so to the extent that you could call it a community takeover.
It's difficult than usual to get in, but they have actually confirmed that they are, in fact, armed, and they're keeping track of people who are coming in and out of their nation.
I don't have to tell you about the situation on the ground in your city, but in terms of how it looks to the rest of the country and the president teeing it up as basically ineptitude, the inability to control your own streets, is that fair criticism?
So I know it will shock you that the president is perhaps not giving an accurate or truthful picture.
We were made aware that there were several threats to burn down the East Precinct. As you know, the East Precinct is not a freestanding building. It is in fact connected to residential apartment buildings and to several businesses.
We've got 4 blocks in Seattle that you just saw pictures of that is more like a block party atmosphere. It's not an armed takeover. It's not a military junta. We will make sure that we can restore this, but we have block parties and the like in this part of Seattle all the time. It's known for that.
The counter will be block parties don't take over a municipal building, let alone a police station, and destroy it, basically thumbing their nose at any sense of civic control. Do you believe that you have control of your city and that you would be able to clear those streets?
It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Because you haven't.
We do, and the chief of police was in that precinct today with her command staff looking and assessing on operational plans. But we saw that it was a point of conflict night after night between the police department and protesters. And we wanted to de-escalate that. And what we decided was the best way to do that was reopen the streets.
Good afternoon. I'm Assistant Chief Deanna Nolet of the Seattle Police Department. There have been a lot of questions about what's recently been happening up in the East Precinct, and I'd like to recap some of the most recent events. On Sunday, we heard from protesters that the barricades were becoming a flashpoint and that the protesters merely wanted the ability to march peacefully in the street and gather in the area. We embraced that request and we removed the barricades. We wanted to be able to facilitate and support peaceful demonstrations, and we took the barricades down on Monday afternoon.
There is no threat right now to the public.
We consulted with the Seattle Fire Department, who informed us that if the East Precinct were to catch on fire, that there is the possibility that the fire would spread and a very real possibility that those businesses and residences would be impacted.
And that itself ended up with some ramifications for the precinct to remove anything that was valuable out of that building. But we will make sure that all of Seattle is safe. We take public safety seriously. But the description the president has given is not only wrong, but if it were right, his remedy is wrong. You don't dominate.
It does look like they're in there for the long haul. They're talking about being in there for the long haul. They have a presence there 24 hours. And we don't really know how this is going to end. I mean, Seattle police say that they do eventually want to go back into that precinct, but honestly, they haven't said how or when. We have reached out to the mayor's office, and they have not responded to our questions about how this thing ends. So more occupation than protest right now. Certainly a lot of speeches, and they're still rallying for Black Lives Matter, but it does get the feel now of something that is more than a protest.
The Nazi state aimed to dominate all aspects of German political, economic, and cultural life. At the same time, the Nazi leadership assumed a belligerent and militaristic posture towards Europe and the rest of the world.
And Madam President, we have predators on our streets. We have no choice but to take them out of society. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, without any structure, without any conscience, the end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. Have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
Get on up. Everybody over here. Get into it.